Hello.
Hello.
How is everybody? Holy cow, look at them all. It's crazy. I think I have everybody. Ooh, there you are. Hey,
Hello.
what's new?
Oh, this
What's that?
has just been giving me grief. So, yeah. So it was probably a good thing that I took a little bit of a break. So I iced it and put some capsaicin on it. And then today, as a reminder to not be wrenching on it.
Right, sometimes
Put
you
that
need
on.
that.
Yeah, just as a reminder more than anything. So a little bit better.
Right. Well, good. So we have Kathy and Jody and Pam and Jennifer. Nice to have you guys here. Happy Monday.
It's Monday.
It's Monday.
Felt
Yeah,
like Monday.
it is. We all could probably chime in with it's typical Monday, but we'll keep it positive. Yes, we will, because we could always go down the bad weather and the whatever, right? Like I have no water at my house again. Like it's just been.
At the water, did you say?
Yeah, we live in a this cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
And the water is run by a pump house, and it probably should have been fixed like 25 years ago. And so it needs to be replaced, but they keep like band-aiding and put band-aids on it. And so today, and they were hoping to get it done today, but it's not. So maybe tomorrow. So I feel like I'm living in the, 1800s. Got buckets of water and
Oh my God.
so
You're better than I am. I'd be at a hotel.
yes, well, yeah, yeah, it's the problem with that is, you can't run the dishwasher, you can't even do your dishes. And so, yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, I can go and take a shower other places, but, so I'm trying to be like, it could be worse. I could not have power,
Right.
and I'm healthy and I had a great weekend. So,
Good.
yeah, all that good stuff, but
Because
Baby.
positives, yes.
yeah. So what I wanted to talk about last week, we talked about habits, and there's 4 stages of habits. And I'm just going to review those. There's the cue, the craving, a response, and a reward. So the cue triggers the craving. So like the example was your phone buzzes with a message, right? That's the cue. The craving is you want to see it, right? You crave to see what that is, because if we have it in front of us, that's what we want to do, which leads to the response. And then the reward, which the response is going to answer it. The reward is, I get to see what it is. Sometimes they're good messages, sometimes not so much. So anyway, so what I wanted to do is actually talk about, okay, those are the 4 stages. You don't really realize you're going through those stages when you're doing or having like working on a habit, right? The workouts or the meal prep or whatever it might be. But a lot of habits, or most habits, are really based on your identity and your belief system too. And that's how a lot of it is how we were raised. And so how can we take some of those habits that we learned and change them? It's like you have to change your behavior and how you see what those habits are before you can actually stick to the new ones or stick to those goals that you've made. And it's not easy. And habits are a lifelong thing, right? You're always changing, learning new things. It's not something, oh, I did that, I'm done. You guys can see me and hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm getting this that says my internet's unstable, so I don't know. We'll just
Aren't we all?
Yeah,
Right. Thank God I don't have something giving me messages like that all the time.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. That's funny. And so, you always, anyway, so what I want to do is talk about change and how those things that we've learned and developed how we can change those and actually stick to those goals. And so we're going to go through that today. But first thing is change is hard, right? And it is for most
It is.
people. Some people really like it. Too much change is really difficult. One thing at a time is different. So we all really have a goal to become better people. That's why we're here. We want to be better women. We want to be better, wives and daughters and grandmas or whatever. And we want to be stronger, and healthier as we move on in this next chapter. And just be better overall, all around is what I really want to say. So it's hard to stick to new behaviors. And we've all had some struggles with anytime we learn new things, it's hard to stick to those. And that's why I don't necessarily like New Year's resolutions. It's not just because it's a new year. We should be changing and wanting to change all year round. And that's when New Year resolutions, not that it's bad to do that, but it comes with this kind of a negative thing. Well, it's a resolution. Well, it'll last me 6 or 8 weeks, because that's typically what happens. And so I don't like to call that out necessarily. It's like, okay, what's my next goal? What's my next month goal? Quarter goal, 6-month goal, year goal, whatever. So, and it would be really nice to be able to make those new habits come easily. And it's not always done that way. So I just wanted to kind of go over a few things to help us with that. So how hard is it sometimes to remember people's names? You guys struggle with that? I
Yes.
do. I can,
Right after being introduced.
Exactly, like the minute after.
right?
I get so mad.
It is, it's, and then you feel bad, but you know what? A lot of us are like that. And so we're all in the same boat. We forget names and things like that. And that's a change. It's something that we have to work on. It's that habit. And for me, once I see the face, I can remember the name. I'm pretty good with the name, but if it's just, if you meet that person for the first time and you don't see him again for 3 months or even 2 days, it's hard to remember. And so that's some of those, that's kind of like, that's like a habit, right? We have to learn how do you make that happen? Some people are really good at it and some people aren't. But in order to do that, we have to prove that to ourselves that we can become better at that. We can have that different identity. So first, what you have to do in order to build new habits is create a new identity. What do you want? Do you want to be that person that remembers names? Do you want to be that person that's 20 pounds lighter? Do you want to be that person that eats better, that, all of that? So it's really based on creating that new identity for yourself. So what you do now really is a mirror image of the type of person that you believe that you are, either that's consciously or subconsciously sometimes, right? So, and your current behaviors are a reflection of your current identity. So what you do now is what you identify with, right? So think about where you started in this journey and where you're at now and what your identity has changed, right? Which has ultimately led to behaviors that have changed. So that should be with any new habit that you do. And you really have to think about that. And not a lot of us do. We want to beat ourselves up because we're not making that change or that adopting that new behavior. We got to think about, well, what do we really feel about that? Do we really want that? So in order to change your behavior for good, like I'm going to do this for good, like from now on, you have to start believing different things about yourself. You have to build identity-based habits, if you will. So, so this is how we typically set goals, right? I want to lose weight. I want to get stronger. A lot of people need to be a little bit more specific. So then you'll say, okay, I want to lose 20 pounds or I want to squat 125 pounds. So those are goals, but they're centered around outcomes, not your identity. that's a goal. Not that you shouldn't set goals. That's not what I'm saying, but you think about that person and who you want to be before, as you're setting those goals. So there's actually kind of like 3 levels to that. So it's like peeling away an onion. So let's get down to those layers. And so the first layer is changing your outcome. So that level is you're actually changing your results, losing weight, eating cleaner, getting your protein grams in, whatever that might be. It could be publishing a book, writing a story, any of those. So most goals you set are associated with a level of change like that. You know, those are pretty common goals, if you will. So the second layer, so that's your outcome. What's that outcome going to be? The second layer is changing your process. So that's about changing your habits and your systems. So an example would be implementing a new routine at the gym, a new workout, going to the gym. Another example would be something that I work, declutter, keep things away so that you can think clear. Decluttering is huge in my house because my husband's, he listens to these Zoom calls too. So he always just says, oh, thanks for throwing me under the bus. But I've got a lot of examples with him. He loves clutter. He's got like piles everywhere. I can't deal with that. So that is changing your process. So that's not easy. He does really well certain times, like if we're having company, he's really good at that. But otherwise, it's kind of sits around, right? So, but the third and the deepest layer is that changing your identity. So that's changing your beliefs, your self-image, kind of that worldview of yourself, how you judge yourself, right? And there might be some biases that you have about yourself or assumptions, but they become your beliefs, those judgments about yourself. So, identity, again, is about what you believe about yourself. So when it comes to building those habits that you want to last, because obviously we want these habits that we're developing to last, it's about making improvements, but not like, I need to lose 100 pounds. That's like overwhelming. We've talked about those kind of overwhelming goals. But just like 1% better every day. Look at it that way, 1% better every day. So when I was researching this, it made a lot of sense that we really need to be looking at ourselves and what we truly believe in and what our beliefs are. So building identity-based habits is the way to go versus outcome-based habits, if that makes sense. So there's a couple steps to do that. First, you want to decide the type of person you want to be. Who is that person? Remember, I talk about being on this side of the bridge. There's there's a river. You're on this side of the bridge and you want to go over that, right? So it's who do you want to be? And then you need to prove it to yourself with small victories, that 1% better every day. So it's 1 rep better every day, 1 meal better every day, food prepping, that kind of thing, just 1% better. So you decide, who you want to be. And that can be individual, but if you're working with a team or a family, if you're working together with your family, who do you guys want to be together? What do you stand for? What are your principles? What are your values? And this is kind of like a little bit of soul searching for yourself. Who do you wish to become, that new person in your next chapter? And sometimes you just don't know where to begin. Now, you guys, when you look at where you started and where you are today, can you see some of those changes that you've made in how you see or portray yourself from where you started to where you are now? Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's interesting. So now when you think about it from this perspective, it makes a lot of sense. But let's say you're you've progressed this far. All of you guys that are on here have made tremendous progress. Now it's taking it further, like now what are those next goals? And all of you guys have been setting those goals. Like, oh, I met that one. Now I'm going to do this one. Right. I just want to get 1% better every single day. So, like, I'm going to back up. So you want to lose weight, right? That's kind of why we're here. So how you want to do that is you want to, first of all, be that person that's going to be moving and being active every day. And you guys already know this, right? So that's how you do that. So, that's just an example of how that kind of works. Or you want to become a better, maybe you guys are, and I'm just going to throw this out there. Someday I would like to write a book. So I want to become a better writer. Well, how do I do that? Well, I have to start writing first of all, right? I want to write, 500 words a day. So it's those short 1% better things every day, keeping that in mind. And then a win would be you wrote a paragraph. That's just an example. Or here's one, you want to become strong. You want to be stronger. I think you guys are all in that category where you've lost some weight. You're starting to feel good. Now I want to be stronger, right? I want to do more, maybe build a little bit more muscle. So be the kind of person that you're never going to miss a workout unless you're hurt. So you don't want to miss that workout, right? So maybe a small win would be you're really working on your push-ups. So you do one more push-up on your toes every day, one more deadlift every workout, something like that, where you become 1% better. You become then that person that you want to be, that stronger person. So just some examples. Does that make sense? You're really thinking about yourself. Okay. So we kind of talked about this in the past, like, what is your identity? The thing I want to really stress is your identity, you're proving it to yourself, not to anybody else. This is about you and who you want to become. Maybe you want to become a better person in a certain area. Maybe it's communication with your significant other, something like that. Well, the first step to that, then, I want to become a better communicator. Well, how do I do that? I set a time to go on a date night, or like what I do is Dan and I meet every week for an hour. We cover business stuff and then we cover personal stuff. That because we both need to become better communicators, because we both have a lot going on. And so you can do that, with other people other than just yourself, but really you have to also want to do that. If he would say, I want to become a better communicator, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm already good at that, which I would never do, but you have to be on the same page with that too. So there are also times too that you want to stay motivated and inspired with that. And you're going to have those times that you burn out, that you don't feel motivated. You don't want to do that. You don't want to work out. And you can't always rely on motivation for that, right? And we talk about motivation is really inside. I can't make you guys do anything. You have to really want that. So you have to become that type of person that wants that. And a lot of times you have to prove it to yourself and hold true to yourself, even though you don't really feel like doing it. You just have to go do it. Put one foot in front of the other and do it. I really wish that I came up with the Nike slogan of just do it, because I have to tell myself that, like, just do it. Just quit complaining and do it, or quit procrastinating and do it. And don't you feel better if you just do it? Again, 1% better every single day. And try not to worry so much about, I got to lose that 100 pounds. I got to lose that 100 pounds, but take that 1% better every day in whatever aspect that is, because you're moving towards that goal, and that goal will ultimately happen. But again, it also comes down with the person that you want to be. You have to be true to yourself to want that. And a lot of times, what has helped me is writing that down. And I know that, paper and stuff like that, I write it down. What are those goals? What are my goals that are in front of me then? That helps more on the inside of trying to inspire myself and stay true to myself. It's like, I'm trying to think of the right way or not the right way, but what I really want to say is, you don't want to let yourself down. So there's a lot of times we don't let other people down, but we let ourselves down. And you're letting yourself down if you don't push yourself to become that person, because you ultimately are in charge of yourself. And so those habits, we talk about making those habits and those goals stick. Well, it all starts with you and that vision you have of yourself and the kind of person that you want to be. And we all gonna have days where we're kind of up and down, but each day that 1% better, right? Always think that 1% better. And it might be just really trivial. It might be, I went to bed 15 minutes earlier, but it was 15 minutes earlier. I didn't, it's the short-term little 1% that get you to the ultimate goals. Because we beat ourselves up if we don't, I don't know, maybe it's a specific goal that we really wanted to hit and we didn't, but you didn't go the other way, right? You still became better. Right. So try to stop worrying about the results and start worrying first about your identity. Become that person that can achieve the things that you want to achieve, which you all have. So always look where you started and where you are now. Yeah, because you got to look at that, because look at the achievements you already have. And that person that you've become. Yeah, and maybe your work's not done yet, and it should never be done. You should always want to be better, learn more, right? Always. I don't want to be the person that just shuts down and doesn't want to learn and grow, because that's life ending in a sense, mentally and emotionally. And unfortunately, we've had some things that have happened this last, year and a half that have really, really wreaked havoc on ourselves and how we see things. And we get all the negativity, we get sucked into that. And it's hard. It's hard to pull yourself out. And so, but with you guys being here, you've committed to doing that. And it's great because we can hold each other accountable to that, and in the group and here, and you guys message me and we talk every week and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, it's like, I'm not going to let myself down. I'm just, I'm tired, but I'm just going to do it. And maybe you didn't do a whole entire workout, but you did half of it. It's better than not doing anything.
That's right.
Don't beat yourself up over that, because you did something. You weren't laying on the couch not doing anything. So really wanted to talk about habits and how you really have to look at yourself in order to make those habits that you want to develop better. I always have stuff that I want to do better at.
Of course, right.
I mean, don't we? I mean,
Never going to be perfect, but
No.
we want to try to achieve as close as we can to that perfection.
Right. Because that's what's going to drive us. And people will look to us for inspiration, because how did you do that? What are you doing that got you this far? Because really it's right here. It's all right here in this.
That a lot.
Head. It's all in when they say it's all in your head, it's all in your head. It really is. And and we've had a lot of stuff happen, but I give you guys tons of kudos, because here you are, and look at where you started. And Jennifer's new in her journey, and she's doing really well. And
Yay.
Yes, you are. And
Congratulations.
yes, it is. It's a one day at a time, 1% better. Don't give up on yourself. don't ever give up on yourself. That's the worst thing you can do. But so hopefully this was helpful. Try and kind of take you back introspectively when it comes to habits. It's not just something that happens, you have to make it happen. But I also wanted to bring up the point that it's the small achievements. It's the, you know, we talk about non-scale victories, but this is more than that. This is just 1% better in life, whether it's fitness and nutrition or anything. It's just being a better you. So can you all relate to that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys, so put on your thinking caps. This is time. This is my question to you. I'm going to have every one of you is going to answer. Name one thing, so you, how do I want to phrase this? How about a habit that you are either, that you're working on, or one that you've nailed in the last, and since you've been on your journey? Who wants to go first?
As far as nailing it, I really think I've nailed my workout consistency.
Yeah.
I was up since 2:30 this morning. There's lots
Oh my
been going
gosh.
on, and I
Oh,
couldn't
no.
fall back asleep, but I went and worked out this morning at the gym. It's
Did
like,
you?
I
Good.
got to do that. So I feel like I've nailed that part of it.
Yes, you have. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's always the food thing. Just make sure I get that protein in and
Yeah.
get creative with my meals. And
Sure.
that's something I always need to work on.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, from where you've started from to where you are now, it's like so different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. That's awesome. I'm sorry you've been up so late. Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh,
early,
it
late.
was
You gotta go
like,
to bed
can I
soon.
just fall back asleep?
Oh,
That was a rough one, but
oh.
I took an hour nap this afternoon.
Good, good. Get to bed early tonight if you can.
I will.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh. Jody, how about you?
Yeah. I think the promise that I made to myself to get healthier and to become fit, and the goal is to get off of, the blood pressure medicine, which I have upcoming doctor's appointment soon, but I went from, cholesterol from 273 to 144 in 3 months. With
Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
good for you.
Yeah, that's great.
That's awesome.
I've lost 50 pounds
Yep.
now.
Oh my, great job.
And,
Yes.
and still, I may have, as far as fat goes, I've lost that, but I've also gained muscle with that too. And I think, keeping the promise to myself, and on days when I don't feel like doing it, and like you said, you can't always rely on motivation. Sometimes you just have to do it. And I have to tell myself I'm doing this because you made a promise to yourself and you love yourself.
Right. Right. And you guys are worth
So
it.
much better afterwards. It's like, I want to work out and I feel so much better than if I would have just stayed home.
Right.
Yep.
Right,
Right. Right. It'll help with your sleep tonight.
right.
Yes, it
Yeah. And Jody, you're killing it. So keep doing it. You're doing great. And you'll get through that. You'll get through that, elbow,
yeah.
Yeah, stuff happens. Again, like life throws us those curveballs. So instead of, you're reminding yourself, you're like, I'm not giving up. I'm just gonna remind myself not to go crazy, right?
Yep. And my frozen chicken breast for dinner last night was my ice pack yesterday morning.
Now there you go. Now that is, yeah, that's using
Double
everything.
duty.
That's cool. How about you, Pam?
So, I've been sitting here thinking since you asked that, and while I kind of feel pretty confident in, I don't like to say nailed it because I always think I have room for improvement, right? And I'm always looking to learn more and be better in everything.
Mhm.
But I'm pretty consistent with my workouts. And I'm pretty good with my meal planning until you threw the curve at me for the increased fiber. That has me over the top trying to get that fit in without using those supplements that wreaked havoc on my body.
Yeah.
But,
Sorry about that.
But yeah, well, it is. I'm feeling better today, by the way.
Good.
But I cut those out and I tried something different. I did hit 40 today. Yay.
Oh.
Yay.
So that was good. But yeah, so, I mean, I'm pretty good with those things, and still, like I said, trying to get better. If there was something that I knew I really, really had to put a lot of work on, and I messaged you about it earlier today, it's getting, I don't want to say quicker because I don't want to be racing through my workout and
Right.
losing form and stuff, but I'm not lollygagging or farting around, as I called it, as much as I was before. So kudos to you for recognizing and encouraging that I needed to step out to the gym a couple days a week.
Yeah.
That's made a massive difference.
Good.
And I said to the coaches there, I think my coach realized I was farting around too much because I see now how there's no check-in messages or Facebook in between reps. It's like
Right.
it's not right there. You don't have time, right? It's just go,
Right.
go, 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 go. And I love it. Right.
Good
So I'm
for
like,
you.
oh, now I see.
Yeah.
So I thought I got after it this morning and I still didn't hit the mark, but I don't want to just race either, but I could get
No.
better at that, is
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah,
focus.
it's distractions. And when you're at home, there's many more distractions. Like you have your dogs, like I have mine. He's at the
Yep.
door growling at something. There's distractions all the time. But getting
Right.
out, like I said, COVID just kind of brought us. And you have an amazing gym at your house, so I get that. But it's nice to get out and do a little socialization too, and
Oh,
realize.
I had so much fun. I hadn't laughed like that and I don't know how long,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Huge for me, the socialization
Right.
part of that. It's
Yeah.
huge.
it is. It is. So it is good. But yeah, thanks for sharing. You're doing
Sure.
great. So yeah.
Thank you.
Jennifer, I don't know if you can hear me. How about you?
Yes, I can hear you. And sorry you guys can't see me, but my laptop is behind my monitors because I work from home.
Yeah, no
So-
worries. No worries.
So that's why you have a picture.
But it's pretty.
It is.
I would say a bad habit that I have nailed is quitting smoking,
Yay.
Yes.
Good for you.
which I was probably 15 years overdue for that, but finally did it.
You
Yeah.
did. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the next one I'm working on now is sugar.
Yes.
I have did probably quite a bit of it. So, but there's still all the little stuff that I'm still trying to figure out and
Right.
get that out of there. So,
Good.
I think I've been pretty consistent with my workouts.
Yes. Yes.
I did have a injury last week because I'm dealing with a bad foot because was born flat-footed. So now I'm dealing with a tendon issue. And so this is my second time in PT
Mhm.
because the surgery is super quick, but the aftercare is awful. And
Yeah.
I don't have anyone here with me, so I'm trying to do what we can with PT. So I did
Yeah.
a little bit last week, so I did miss a few workouts, but I'm hoping that I can get back to the strength training on Wednesday.
Yeah.
So
Good.
that's
Good.
where I'm at.
Nice. Nice. No, and the quitting smoking it's phenomenal.
It's huge, and I'm like so embarrassed that I was even a smoker. It's just like, why
Yeah,
did
well,
you smoke as long as you did? And
yeah.
I grew up with smoking parents and and then in high school we had a smoking area.
Yeah. Isn't that
So did
something?
we.
Oh, it's like
Isn't that something? I know.
That's crazy.
out
Yes.
it was out behind the lunchroom. Yeah, and we were smoking weed too. So,
Yeah, they did.
the weed thing, and it was like, yeah. But
Well,
it's like
you know-
don't encourage it at all. And then it's just, in the 80s. And then
Right.
I was never a heavy smoker. I was always less than, I was about half a pack, maybe 15.
Right. Yeah. Well, you did it though, and that's what matters. And the whole thing with
Yeah.
sugar too, 1% better every day. And you've been doing that. So that's great. And I know Jody can identify with you because she was a smoker for a number of years too and quit. 30 years. Yeah.
Pretty
So,
close.
yeah.
It's so great though, isn't it? When you look back now, it's like, what the?
What was I
My
thinking?
kids are super happy, and I'm happy. I'm happy I finally did it because
Yes.
I tried a few times. I went to a hypnotist, and
Oh, yeah.
to nothing.
It's
So
one of those, it's just that
it's one of
habit.
those times you just gotta be ready.
Right, right.
Exactly. That's exactly it. So that's where mine started, however many years, 4 years ago now,
Good
So-
for you.
Yeah.
smoking. And then it was just kind of snowballed little by little. Started doing different things. to get
Yeah, I
healthy.
want to ditch the sugar because it creates a lot of inflammation and
Yep.
I'm dealing with some health stuff too. And so I'm trying to reduce the inflammation and, so I'm trying to get rid of the sugar, but I love sweets. So I'm trying to come up with ideas of still getting that sweet
Yeah.
tooth taken care of.
Right.
Do you bake at all?
I can, but I don't know. I spent 23 or my kids, how long ago they moved out? A year ago, so 20 something years coming up with meals and things. So I'm kind of like burnt out on cooking right now. Still,
I'll start.
I do love my air fryer though because it's
Yeah.
super.
Those are awesome.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Protein shakes are a nice treat. I mean, I do the chocolate protein with almond milk, a banana,
Ooh,
blend it up in my bullet, and it's like ice cream.
It
that
is.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
good.
If you
Wow.
guys have some ideas on some sweet, healthy options, post them in the group. Because Jennifer,
Yeah.
you can pick them up out of that group then too.
Yeah, because I've been trying to look at keto. I guess keto has some sweet stuff they do. So
They do it higher fat. You just have to be careful because higher fat will add to more calories. So
Yeah,
you have to
don't wanna
watch
do
that.
that.
Mhm. Yeah.
all
But
right.
good. I want to thank you guys for sharing. That was awesome. So see those habits that you have moved from, right? You've become different. Your identity's changed. Smoker to non-smoker. Like that's totally different.
Mhm.
Yeah. So honestly, those are tremendous. And you guys nailing your workouts. I mean, that's dedication too, right? Just
Absolutely.
getting those in, planning on it, doing it, even though you don't feel like it, right? Just do it because when you're done, it feels so much better. You just have a better mental state then too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So awesome. This was a great call. And yeah, Facebook I think it's up and running now. So hopefully
think
that
it's
won't
up
be a
and-
problem.
It was kind of a nice break though.
It was.
Yeah.
You know what? It was for me.
More
I was like,
often.
this isn't so
on
bad.
the account for a month or so, but I just have so many other things on there, like your stuff and
Yep.
events, and
Yep.
it's kind of
So-
tough. But
He managed to make it work for sure, but yeah, so obviously this is recorded, so this will be in the group if you want to take a listen again. We're talking about habits and stuff. It's so important. And yeah, I guess that's it, unless you guys have any questions or anything.
Nope. I'll try and post some
Yeah,
low carb with monk fruit sweetener cookies and like fat bomb recipes and whatnot, that when you're trying to get extra fat in, but you can use like I said, the monk fruit sweetener.
right.
So-
Yep, because you getting calories in is important too.
Yeah.
You guys do, I mean, women in general struggle with getting calories because you always think we need to eat like a bird. And so it's like, that's a whole habit, right? Trying to retrain that brain into, I need to eat to lose weight. It works. You guys can attest to that. You got to eat. You got to eat. So yeah, do that. That'd be great. And yes, so I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your evening and get some
Yeah.
sleep, Kathy. And
I will.
okay.
I will.
All right, good. We'll see you
you.
guys next Monday. But I'll be in Mind Body Beautiful on Wednesday too, if Facebook stays up and running. So, all right, guys, have a good night.
have a
You
good
too.
night.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye. It was awesome.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.